the Makin's Clay Design Studio. I'm Cindi McGee. Today I'm going to be showing you one of our favorite techniques. It's a way to blend clay to get great variated shades with 2 or more shades of clay. The traditional method is called a Skinner blend. We're going to be doing a variation on that called a Teardrop Blend. It's simple to do. And you get this great variated colors which are perfect for embellishing our 4th of July upcycled centerpiece. Let's get started. So the first step is to open our package of Makin's clay. We're going to remove the outer wrapping. This is 120 gram of our multi-pack of primary colors. Inside, the clay is wrapped in 2 packages. You would first remove the outer, and then for this multi-pack, each individual piece is individually wrapped, but it is important once you remove that outer wrapping, even at this point, if you don't take off the second wrapping, that you do keep your clay in a Ziploc bag or some other type of airtight container with a moist towelette or a damp paper towel, and that way your clay will stay fresh and ready to use for a long time to come. If you have any issues with Makin's clay beginning to dry out while you're working with it, because it is an air dry product, you can simply spritz it with a bit of water and work it, and it will come right back to its original consistency. So today we're going to be using our red, white, and blue clay. I'm going to put my other colors in my bag, and I will set that aside. So I'm going to remove this inner packaging. Now, Makin's clay is soft and pliable right out of the package and ready for use. It does not have to be conditioned first, making it perfect for all age groups. Now, once you remove it, if you do have any remaining clay left on your plastic, you do not have to throw that away. There's virtually no waste. You can either scrape it with a tool, or I prefer to take the clay I've already removed and pounce it on that plastic. And you can see how it beautifully lifts all of that clay so that you don't waste it. I'm going to go ahead and open our red and white, and then I'll show you the next step. So now that our red, white, and blue clay is out of the package, it's time to begin our teardrop blend. I'm going to start with my white. Now you can of course do this with larger pieces of clay for larger sheets, but for workability I'm going to show you on a smaller scale. You'd start by making your first teardrop. And then make your next color and put it in the opposite direction, and go ahead and press those together a bit. And then you'd add your third color again in the opposite direction. Now you could continue to make the pattern, but we'll start with that. I'm going to put this into my bag. Now the next step is when the magic begins to happen. You would press those together, and you can use your hands to do that for this first part. Or you can use the clay roller if you do have one. Now you could do this process entirely by hand, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to do with our Ultimate Clay Machine and our motor attachment next. For the next step in our teardrop blend, we're going to be using the Makin's Professional Ultimate Clay Machine. What makes this machine unique is that it has non-stick rollers, making it perfect for use with all types of modeling mediums. It also has 9 thickness settings, which means you can start at a thicker and then get to almost a paper thin, as long as you go up 1 setting at a time progressively. I'm also going to be showing you today the optional motor, which makes rolling clay, especially when you're working with a classroom full of people or even for home use, it makes it easier than ever. So we're going to start on a setting number 1, and I'm going to place my blend in there, and I'm going to use the intermittent setting so I can control how quickly it goes through. Now at this point, you're going to fold it in half. And then you're going to run it again. Now I'll use one of the faster settings. And now at this point, I'm going to go to a setting number 2. And I'm going to roll it. And then I'm going to fold it in half again. And I'm going to roll it again. And then I'm going to jump to the setting number 3. Single. Fold in half. Repeat. Now we're going to go to setting number 4. And see what a beautiful sheet of smooth clay you're getting with this Ultimate Clay Machine. We're going to fold this one in half and roll again. Now, that process is starting of the clay blending into these shades, but we want to go a bit further. Let's go to number 5. Again, fold in half. Now you're starting to get a really great variation. I did go one more setting and I stopped at a number 6. Now I could continue, but I think this is beautiful with this variation that we have now. So we are ready to go to the next step. To add our star texture for our stars, I'm using a Makin's texture sheet. These texture sheets work on either side. One side will inset the design, the other will raise it up. If you have any problems with your modeling medium sticking to it, a little bit of cornstarch will work as a perfect release agent. I'm going to just press it onto my clay and lightly push to transfer my stars. Now you can use a clay roller to do this. Some people will roll them through the Ultimate Clay Machine, but I prefer to do it because I can have the control with my hands. And you can lift and see if you're getting the impression that you want, or if you need to press a little harder in some areas. And then I'm just going to do this side. So now we've got these great inset stars. It's ready to cut our individual stars for our vase. Now we're ready to cut out our stars to decorate our bottle. I'm using the Makin Star 3-piece clay cutter set for this. And I'm going to cut random stars from our blended clay in some of my favorite blended areas. There's no right or wrong way to do this. And I cut several in various colors and sizes of each. The next step is to add a bit of iridescent shimmer. There are lots of different ways that you can add color to Makin's clay. You can use acrylic paints, oil paints, permanent markers, permanent inks, watercolor pencils, crayons, and more. I also like to use mica powders, which is what I'm going to use today. Now I just want a very small amount because I don't want to lose my beautiful blend of clay. I just want to add a bit of sparkle to it. Just a very light dusting so that our color still shows through, but our stars have a beautiful sheen. Let's see if I can lift one and you can see that effect and get it in the light just right. They have a beautiful shimmering sheen, yet you can still see the beautiful blend of colors. So you would do that for all of the stars, and then I'll show you what's the next step. To make my vase, I'm actually repurposing this great bottle. It has this beautiful wavy shape, and it was completely clear. I wanted my stars to show up a little better, and I wanted to sort of hide the little LED lights I'm going to put inside, so I decided to frost the front and back. And how I did that was with Etchall etching cream. I followed the manufacturer's instructions and put about a thick layer like peanut butter over the top, let it set 15 minutes, return it to the jar, and then clean. I did both sides. Now we're ready to apply our stars. I'm using a tacky glue. Now you can apply your stars when they're still fresh or after they've dried. And I wanted just a random pattern So any type of adhesive that will work with glass is perfect. So you can use as few or as many stars as you'd like. This side I already did, and they have had a chance to dry. And you can see how pretty they are, and that touch of iridescence and that beautiful blend of clay. Now I'll show you how to put together our little centerpiece. So now we're going to assemble. I wanted my vase to light up almost like fireworks, so I'm using this LED strand of lights. And I'm going to stuff those down inside of my bottle. Now you could also use this as a vase. These lights are submersible, so you could still use the lights. It would be pretty with some red, white, and blue carnations. But I wanted the fireworks effect for my 4th of July picnic table. Now you could leave it long and set this piece down, or you could disguise it up here. But for now we'll just leave it there. So my lights are in. I hope you can see they're twinkling in there. And then I had this great, it's actually Christmas tinsel, but I thought it was kind of reminded me of fireworks. So I put a little bit of that in, and I let it extend around the sides. And then I'm using some small American flags that I just inserted in top. So I have a festive centerpiece perfect for a 4th of July barbecue. These would be super easy to make. You can see you can make a lot of them very easily with very little product. And I did want to show you one last idea, because Makin's clay is perfect for all ages. Any leftover clay that you have after you've made your blend, if you mix it all up together and give it to the children that might be attending, they can either press it with their hands or roll it and use the large clay cutter and make fun little patriotic necklaces or keychains like this one my neighbor Zoe made. I think she used that leftover clay in a great way, and plus it's an activity for the kids at your barbecue. We hope you enjoyed learning how easy it is to create beautiful blended clay with Makin's clay. And we hope you enjoyed this festive 4th of July project. We invite you to explore the possibilities of adding Makin's clay to your creative projects, and we ask you to join us next time in the Makin's Clay Design Studio.